All right, good afternoon, my friend. We are back after a very, very well fought cheating game. we played out all two of these matches already. Kami won both of them, and we realized that Kami registered with a 58 card deck. So we decided to replay the games just from scratch.
Right. It was an interesting discovery. We didn't realize until sideboarding. And I believe for whatever reason, there were 13 cards in the sideboard and 58 in the main deck.
Yep.
So we had to throw that back. So the most amicable solution here is it looks like for both players, is just to replay the match. So I'm pretty interested, based on how things went last game. How are you feeling about things here?
So my opinion going into the match was that Kami definitely has the tools to win, but Dan just has so much late game inevitability that I think Dan's pretty favored here. Not that it's unreasonable for Kami to win, and I think I'm still of that opinion. But we really saw in game one, or I guess match one, the one that got scrubbed, that Kami's lock pieces, not necessarily lock pieces, but his hate pieces can be really, really impactful. Like we saw the Thalia Heretic Cathar really, really just lock Dan out of playing that kind of early game with Okos and lightning bolts and just early game interaction. The Kami's able to kind of get under him, and I'm hoping that's what I'm going to see here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the big Thalia was really impressive. I used to play that card a lot in Modern. I feel like that's always the kind of the unappreciated older sister Thalia that doesn't get played quite enough, but I think it's an incredibly good card. And we already see, turn one small Thalia going to be putting in a whole lot of work here, because in Dan's hand, we've got an Oko Thief of Crowns and we got a Cryptic Command.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're not going to see a turn 3 Oko. And I think that's huge.
So what do you think the name here is with Meddling Mage? I think it's probably just Oko.
It's probably Oko. Obviously, if Dan just responds with the Ice Fang Codal, it makes the name a little bit easier here.
Right.
Because I might be tempted to name Ice Fang. I mean, Ice Fang Codal is still pretty good. I mean, against humans. But wow, actually, Dan just drew into a bolt off of this Ice Fang Codal, so that's pretty great. So if we name Oko, that's not going to stick around forever.
Yeah.
That being said, though, Dan has got to draw into another land here.
So we do have the Mental Misstep in hand. So I guess, I mean, our hope on this side, the Kami side, is that Dan just goes into our turn holding up the Lightning Bolt. It gives us the ability to untap and be able to pay for the Mental Misstep, like pay for the Thalia attacks.
Enjoying Dan's repeated furious clicking on all of his cards to show off what his line plans to be. But Dan also has Mental Missteps in hand, so I believe his plan is to try to hold up the mana to be able to bolt the Meddling Mage and then get back with a Mental Misstep if need be.
Gotcha.
So we'll see how this all kind of goes down, or how this rolls out sequence-wise. I wonder if Dan is intending to keep grabbing Snowlands here to try to turn on Ice Fang Codal.
Maybe. I also wonder, so our hand right now is Meddling Mage, 2 Thalias, small Thalias, and Mental Misstep. So I wonder if we just run out the second Meddling Mage naming Bolt.
Yes, I think that would be a smart decision.
So we can't really hit the... Like, Dan can't really hit the Thalia, I don't think. I think he has to hit the Meddling Mage. Alright, so let's see if we see response. Now, this is another interesting point. If Dan goes to the Bolt, which I'm assuming he will on the Meddling Mage in response.
I think he has to here.
Yeah, I think we just rename Oko.
I'd be really tempted to rename Oko. I think Dan's deck name, aptly titled Temur Mistakes, I think is really reminding us why there's a ban list. Wow, I'm really surprised. Kami just let that go. Kami didn't fight back. Huh. Interesting.
I mean, I think that's why Misstep is here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Misstep's there to try to fight over those bolts and things. Very interesting choice.
Yeah. Kami does rename Oko, which again, I think was
that makes sense.
It's just the note card.
Right, and it's also Oko Thief of Crowns, which is just an absurd Magic card.
Oh, seeing it now. Oh, no. Okay, so Kami knew about the mental missteps from the opponent.
Oh, when he
Yeah,
right,
he
of
knew about
course,
it.
because
I
he
still
get
think it
probed.
might
Yeah,
be worth doing just to get these cards added to
yeah,
his hand.
agreed. Yeah, I think so as well. All right,
Like,
well, we drew a Deathrite Shaman, which is pretty good. Like, is if we don't hit lands off this ponder, then we just be able to ramp right into the cryptic that we need.
yeah. Well, Kami might be rewarded here for not mental misstepping that bolt, because if we don't hit a land off this ponder, or Dan doesn't hit a land off this ponder and tries to just run out the Deathrite Shaman, we can't just misstep it.
Oh, well said. Yeah, well said. That's true. Unfortunately, we do hit a land off this ponder. So we're gonna go ahead and
Get some mistakes down.
get some mistakes down. Definitely. It looks like Dan has ordered. He drew the Misty Rainforest underneath on top of his deck rather is a Uro.
Oh
So
boy.
more a shining pinnacle of Magic. What's he design here?
Yeah.
You
So
know
we
what
got
I would have liked to have seen is I think we should just let on Deathrite Shaman without playing the land, just to conceal some information here and then make Kami's decision even harder.
yeah. I think we just ran out this misstep. I don't think he's doing much else here.
Yeah, I think
This
right because
also
what
makes
else
me
are
pay
we?
life, which isn't nothing.
That's a good point. Yeah, and also interesting decision point from Dan here. If he wants to fight back, he has to fetch away the Uro that's on top of his deck
Oh,
because he has
good
to
point.
pay the Thalia tax.
Good point. I think Uro is probably just worth keeping.
Yeah, I think I would just let this go. I'd say okay, sure,
Yeah.
and then just pass turn, and then that way we can draw into Uro.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so funny. When this tournament began, we were, how do I put it? When this tournament began, we were playing lots of cards that weren't on the ban list, but now they are. I just think that's really funny in my opinion. Like it's like our format, like we're playing our format knowing full well that that some of these cards are going to wind up on the ban list.
Well, I mean,
Um,
I think it just goes to show the sheer power level of these cards, because we're playing No Banlist Modern,
yeah,
and at the time we chose to play things that were not banned because they were the best things to be doing. They're at least some of the best things to be doing.
right. I mean, it's so funny to be like, we were only a week into these bans, but already I'm watching people Mystic Sanctuary cards to the top of their deck, casting Uros and just going, oh, thank God we have a ban list.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Can we take a minute? Can we just take a moment to appreciate those most recent bannings?
That was very clutch. Obviously it's a different experience for all people, and not everyone feels the same way about everything, but it's been amazing for me. I mean, I'm playing Magic again. I mean, so I literally had just stopped playing Magic.
Oh
I
yeah.
hadn't played in months, and so now I've played, I think, more this. Yeah, I think I've played more this week than I had like probably all of the last 3 months of 2020 or something like that.
Yep. For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
But anyway, yeah. So definitely a bannings appreciation stream here
Oh, yeah.
for
Well, I mean,
sure.
Jund is playable again. Like it's not tier one at it by any means, and I'm not one of those Jund players that's like, oh no, these bannings makes Jund the best deck. But I mean, you can play
Hey man, I 5-0'd with it last night, so it's got to be okay. I mean, I played terribly and got lucky, but I mean,
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like it is playable, and you can do well.
you can play it. Yes, you can play it. It's not embarrassing. It was straight embarrassing to register it, not just a couple weeks ago, but now it's not too
Oh, this
bad.
is
So.
interesting. I think we maybe should have named Uro with this meddling mage as opposed to Bolt.
Well, he did. Yeah, that's actually a tough decision. I mean, what else is in Kami's hand?
Two Thalias.
Two Thalias.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we don't have
gotcha.
an answer for this Uro right now. Right now, the Uro just means
Gotcha. Are we looking at big Thalia or small Thalia?
small Thalia. It's just two more small Thalias in hand.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
probably
guess
should have
it's
went.
tough, right? I mean, I guess you name Uro and then he just gets bolted and then we Uro, but maybe that buys us an extra turn and now we're allowing Dan to do something proactive.
Yeah, well, I think it's also just like we know about the Uro. We know we can't beat it. So make him happy.
Yeah. Well, we know about the bolt because of Mystic Sanctuary.
Oh, did he? Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, he sanctuaried the bolt back on top, so that was the reason for the name. But it may have been right anyway, just to just kind of time walk him, because of the Thalia. I don't think lets you go bolt until Uro.
Right.
I think that's using up too much of your mana with the Thalia attacks. But yeah, I know now we've just got this monster. I mean, we need to draw Reflector Mage right now, or else. We experienced it for a year. When this opponent untaps with an Uro, it's just literally GG. So
you know what happens. All right, let's draw a Reflector Mage right now. We can do it.
Yeah,
Kami,
we can do it.
I'm sending Comedy the positive vibes.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, Cavern of Souls is.
That's not it.
Reflecting Mage. Mage.
Wow. If we attack with Uro, man, this is so brutal, man. Thank God Uro's gone, right? It's like if Uro attacks, do we triple block it? And it's like, oh yeah, great, you triple blocked, and I already drew 2 cards, gained 6 life, and now I can just cast it again. Thanks.
And that's one of the things that's so awful about this Uro, because let's say Uro attacks, we chump block with a Thalia. There are draws that are going to let us win this game, but the draws get get so much thinner the more the game goes on.
Oh, okay. I already figured it out because Modern was so terrible for so long. All right. Dan's got a Cryptic Command in hand. So if Dan sees the line, Dan just has to tap the team, bounce Mystic Sanctuary, replay Sanctuary, put Cryptic on top, attack with Uro, we redraw the Cryptic, and then unless Kami top decks some kind of crazy out. Or we could just attack with it. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. But yeah, we have the Cryptic lock. But I guess we can also go for it. Okay, we're just electing not to. Fair enough. Wow. Again, I think when it comes to Uro, we can just start spamming spells. I mean,
yeah. I don't think playing the second Uro there is particularly great, but I was thinking
it doesn't really matter. And our hand's really funny. We have a Bolt, 3 Okos, an Uro, 2 Mental Misstep, and a Cryptic. Sometimes too much of Fire Design. You can just have a little bit too much of it. It's a little too strong. It's like, But yeah. But I guess we're fine, because unless Kami has an answer to our Cryptic in hand, Dan just taps team. Okay, we're just attacking. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna
garbage time.
Yeah,
blocker and
right.
Yeah, that's what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
We are officially in garbage time.
You know what? It's what Uro is the greatest creator of garbage time. He brought about the most garbage time. Oh wow, we're just gonna attack in because we don't even need to tap team because we're just attacking with an Uro every turn.
Jeez.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
What Dan thinks we could have here?
Okay. No, he's just doing it. He's just doing the attack steps. He wanted to see what he drew first. That is technically correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Wow. Well, we'll see what happens here, and I don't want to say too much to jinx it, but this one time I was playing in a tournament. Rest in peace, paper tournaments. I was playing in a tournament, playing Grixis Shadow. And I was playing for my win-in against a pretty good matchup for me. And we had a deck check in the middle of our match. And it came to light that I had forgot to write down Basic Island on my deck registration sheet. And I was absolutely devastated because when you misregister a deck, you're given a game loss. Mm-hmm. And that you can't say for certain because then... who knows what could have happened, whatever. But it was pretty clear that game loss is what made me lose the match entirely and made me miss out on top 8. Yeah. I'm not saying that there's any parallels with that story. I just told you what's happening right now. But I'm not saying there's any parallels.
Well, let's hope Kami is a better man.
Yes. We'll see if Kami can certainly prevail in 2 post-board games. Definitely think that's a potential outcome here. But
like I said, the first time this match went down, we've got Temur Mistakes versus Blue-White Good Guys.
We're not presenting any biased coverage here, by the way.
No, this is just strictly fact.
This is just fair and balanced top 8 coverage here for you guys. All right, so Dan has some cool ones to bring in. Dan's got Big Chandra, which is a sweet card. Nice sweeper, uncounterable. Not that that matters in this matchup. Well, I guess it does because we're playing Force Negation on Kami's side. And then we also have the card Fry, which is a pretty sweet card also, and then Engineered Explosives. So some more pretty potent tools on Dan's side here to be able to fight against humans. What did Kami reach for anything in his sideboard?
I got a little bit caught up with talking, but the things he reached for last time were he tripped on a Chrome Mox, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
This is not like a power out of lock piece and it wins you the game kind of matchup.
Right.
And brought in an extra Force Negation.
Gotcha. That seems to make sense. Well, Dan certainly got a solid hand here. I mean, he has, excuse me, he's got Astrolabe, Ponder, Dig Through Time, and Double Bolt. And he just drew into Big Chandra.
Oh, boy.
So we've got all the tools. Now, a Meddling Mage here on Bolt will be pretty good.
We don't
but
have that. So
we don't. Okay, maybe we draw into it with the Git Probe.
So we kept a one-lander that had double Thalia's Lieutenant, small Thalia. Oh, we hit the land off the Git Probe. Double Git Probe, Reflector Mage, and Force Negation.
Oh wow!
But we did hit the land off the Git Probe.
Gotcha. Very interesting. So do we have a small Thalia in our future here?
Either small Thalia or Thalia's Lieutenant. Probably small Thalia. That would be my
assumption. I think we just lead on Guardian of Thraben here.
Yep.
And then this does gum up Dan's hand a little bit, but not too bad.
How do you like what's uncastable? You have an Astrolabe. Everything is castable.
Oh man,
what is Dan talking about?
How do you like my uncastables?
Basic Island cast any spell in the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's referring to. Let's see. He's typing something out.
I mean, like he's kind of far from Big Chandra, but we can cast the bolts, Ponder, and Dig Through Time is not far off. Okay, so our drop return was a Deputy of Detention.
So
Dan's looking at the 1/6 mana card in hand.
And he can cast everything else. Okay, sure, Dan. Yeah. A lot of uncastables, dude. You just got double removal spell. Whatever. I'll let this go. It's fine. I mean, he's bad guy. He's bad guy, right? I mean, he's playing a deck. He literally titled his deck Temur Mistakes. So
what an Uro player. He's just turning into one where he has one thing. He has one thing go wrong. Not everything is not just perfect. He's like, oh well, that's it.
Oh man. Jeez. Imagine just getting to play Uro, clearly the most powerful creature in just about every format that it's in, and then just being like, oh, my deck got banned. I can't cast my cards. Wah.
Again, completely unbiased.
It got biased, completely unbiased. Oh my god, we just see fire. Oh, wow, he could stack these cards. He sees a Lightning Bolt, an Oko, and a Ren and 6. We could just randomly draw any of these cards, but I think Ren and 6 is the best one here because we just get to ping off this Thalia's Lieutenant. And I hate to call it. Okay, we got Force Negation, right?
We do have a Force. Probably
okay, so
probe here.
Yeah, okay, we're still kicking. Never mind. Let me take that back. I was going to say, if this Ren resolved, I think that is just about it.
Yeah, we do have an answer to it.
Okay, that's good.
So we're looking at Force pitching either Whoa.
Wow, it resolves. What? I don't know about that one. Well, Kami just knows that Dan's looking at literally fire on the top of his deck. So that ponders. So.
But they're uncastables though.
They're uncapped. You know what? We're gonna have a hard time getting them out of hand. Let's be honest.
Past that one is one of our hard
times. Oh man. Funny enough, I love how Dan was thumbing over his mental misstep there, just going, I could counter this. I probably could counter that, to be honest. So I guess we deputy this Ren now?
I don't know. That's what I would do, but I also would have forced the Ren.
Yeah, right. I think that landing, I mean, because we forced the Ren, and then we get to play more humans to pump the Thalia's lieutenant to get it potentially out of the effects that Dan has. You know, he's Temur, so his removal is damage based and lightning bolt and Ren. Yeah, that was a very interesting choice. Yeah. Okay, so we play the Thalia. Gosh, I hate to say that Thalia looked amazing in their first match they played. Thalia's looking pretty rough here. Wow. I mean, I will be interested to see where Dan takes this hand, because he has the choice of Oko, an Astrolabe blocker, a Bolt,
Sounds like Dan
or
can take
doing
hand
something
anywhere
with
he
the.
wants.
Yeah, I mean, almost certainly. So we're going to. What are we? Okay, interesting.
I'm really interested to hear Kami's thoughts on not forcing that Ren.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe he
Okay,
felt that you
so
had to save it for an Oko. Maybe that's just it.
okay. All right, maybe we have an opening here. This is exciting because now Dan has no way to protect against that Thalia. That Ren's gonna die.
Yeah.
And we just have the Bolt left in hand, so maybe we draw something like Meddling Mage on Bolt and Dan bricks and is not able to get that Chandra out. Okay, we have an opening here. I thought that Dan was just going to lead on Bolt on the Thalia and just kind of, test the waters, and then maybe act from there.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
exactly
interesting. Yeah, interesting stuff. We'll see what develops here. This would be an incredible comeback here from Kami if he's able to put something together.
Yeah, I mean,
lieutenants, cool. Okay.
Unfortunately, if Dan breaks off the rest of the game and draws neither lands or spells.
Right.
I have a shot, but we have this big Chandra in hand for the known inevitability. We could draw, theoretically we could draw Meddling Mage and name big Chandra and then try to.
Right. I think we need to rattle off some Meddling Mages, but that might do it. So Kami's kind of tanked here on the attack, but I think it's a clear attack of the Ren. You just lose the Thalia's lieutenant, right?
Yeah, I agree. We do not have Stifle.
Correct. Yeah. Thank God. Oh man, we were in a long conversation last night about cards in Modern Horizons 2 and just cards that would create awful play patterns in Modern and make it really unfun. And Stifle, I think, is up there.
It would be one for sure.
Yeah, it would just get everyone fetching. You just be in the blind game one, just fetch, shock, pass, and just you're not a Death Shadow deck. You're just playing around Stifle in the blind.
Oh boy.
I hate to say it, and I don't want to say it, but Dan's deck is called Temur Mistakes. And there is an incredibly powerful 2-mana Planeswalker on the battlefield that might one day leave our format. I don't know. It could not. I don't know, but Ren 6 is a heck of a Magic card, and it's already lost. It's its standing in one format.
Yeah, it is. It is really, really strong. I don't think it's too strong for Modern. I really don't think it's too strong for Modern. But I think it won't take many printings for it to be too strong.
Right, exactly. And I'd hate to say it, Ren's one of my favorite cards, but you know what? Yeah. It might happen. So.
I mean, I think that Field of the Dead is a printing that makes it too strong. Thankfully, Field of the Dead win, not Ren. But
yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, that Ren 6 in those Field of the Dead pile decks was just absolutely insane. Yeah, it truly made interaction with that card meaningless. Because if you were able to afford to play land interaction in your deck, Ren 6, I'll just get it right back.
Yep.
So, all right. So Dan drew that Bolt for turn, which is sick because now he has another Bolt in hand. Yeah, and I think that late game inevitability you keep talking about, I think we're going to start to see it kick in. Are we able to cast a Dig Through Time just yet? Not quite, right? Okay, we're basically a turn off.
No, we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right?
1, 2, 3. I'm just reading 4 cards in graveyard and 3 mana up. Or am I missing that?
Oh, I thought you meant okay, yeah. If he untaps, he can cast it. Sorry, I missed what you were asking.
Yes. Untap and he can cast it. And we just top deck another Oko, so queue up Yakety Sax. I think we're in garbage time now. So, yeah. Wow, what lopsided matchups. I mean, just genuinely like wow. It's incredible. Wow, we just attack cuz cuz Oko goes to infinite loyalty and nothing matters. So,
Yep.
Very cool. But yeah, I think wow. I mean, talk about just diametrically opposed matches. Where in the first match, Kami just really was able to put the pressure on Dan and leverage his tempo-based creatures, like you were saying. And this is just a different match right now. And we deputied the Oko, which gives us the maybe small false hope. But we just have another bolt on end step, and we're just going to get the Oko right back and tick up to infinity.
So,
You know.
you have a misstep.
Oh, yeah, we have misstep. We have misstep of our own.
Yeah.
Even let's say Kami somehow had the other misstep, that's just more fuel in Dan's graveyard for his dig through time being cheaper.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
I had a lot more fun in the previous match.
I can imagine. Yeah, this one's had a more somber tone to it. That's
green,
for
white,
sure.
or blue, white, good guys is.
You know what? Sometimes the bad guys win, and you just got to pick yourself up and try to carry yourself forward the best you can from there.
Yeah. This is I'm gonna get made fun of now because I don't know the names of the movies. This is Infinity War, not the next one.
Oh, right. Endgame was the second one. This is Infinity War. Yeah.
Okay.
We just saw Loki get killed, and you're like, wait, can they kill off Loki? Like, really? And then you're like, what? And then Heimdall gets it too, and you're like, okay, hold on now. Who wrote the script? But yeah, I know. I understand for sure. Shout out to Heimdall, best character of the MCU,
Dude,
forever
honestly,
and ever in my heart.
That is the gatekeeper, right?
He is, yes,
yeah,
he is. Played by the very talented Idris Elba. But yeah, 100% best character of the MCU for sure. Yeah, wow. Okay, so basically we're looking at lands, Deathrite Shaman Ponder, and a Royal Scions. I think taking the lands is fine because it casts Chandra, but honestly, Royal Scions Ponder will be pretty sick because Royal Scions ticking up again to a large amount of loyalty. Increasing our 3/3 here is actually pretty awesome. I think it just makes us win the race here.
Yeah. So I hate to agree. I hate to say it, but I think I agree with Kami. He was hovering over the concede button there.
Yeah. Poor guy, dude.
Yeah.
I feel for him here. And who's also sweating here, I think, is Ironworks a little bit. Ironworks wanted to see humans, not Temur mistakes, but
yep.
We'll see how things pan out. Wow. What an insane change of games. And yeah, that was something.
Yeah. So since we missed it, game one or match one, Kami got the win pretty definitively.
Right.
And clearly that didn't happen here. This went a little bit more how I expected it to go, where Kami does have a game in the matchup if he gets under him, but if he doesn't get underneath the late game inevitability, then
Yep. We see what happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And cut. Well, damn.
Woof.
I think I should have taken the Ponder, but I wanted to take the Scion because it's like one of the only cards that doesn't make me want to throw up in my whole deck. So.
I think nothing you. I think you could have like misclicked and not taken anything, and it would have been fine.
As long as you played a land, like
right.
I was going to concede to the Chandra.
Welcome back to the post-match interview talk show. Your host, The Fjord. Joining me on this episode is my special guest, Maybe Lotus's open parentheses Dan close parentheses. So, you have here a deck with 24 out of 60 main deck cards being banned, and you just beat humans on the second try after they registered a 58 card deck in game one. So how do you feel about the win? How do you feel about how you did there?
I feel just awful about it. I think that Kami is a beautiful man who does not deserve such harsh treatment, and he beat me in a good match. to start it off, and then just unfortunate technical difficulties, and we had to go to a second match, and I was able to draw functional hands, which were pretty good, pretty hard to beat. I had So in our first match, so you didn't see, I had like mulls to 5, just like openers with like 1 or 2 spells, 5 lands, just drawing a bunch of lands off the top. I can't do anything with that, but I had some pretty good openers this time.
Well, your deck is called Teamer Mistakes. So, and to quote yourself at the end of the first game when you almost lost, your first Teamer mistake was registering. Teamer Mistakes.
Yes, yeah. There are multiple meanings to the name. There's obviously the design mistakes. There's the registration mistake, and then there's any miscellaneous play mistakes that I make during the games.
Well,
So I've got all my bases covered.
well, I know the other commentators definitely were not rooting for you, and I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I want you to win, but I don't want you to
I'm
lose
not even
either.
rooting for myself, to be honest.
Well,
It was just a complete disaster. But you know what? As the one casting the Yokos, like I was having some fun, but yeah, just a big part of me was also just puking.
well, to quote the great Rob Flynn, sometimes the bad guys win. So, how do you feel about going up against Ironworks now for Jund? To get back on our topic here.
Yes, I will say that I feel definitely favored against Moist Jund. Um, I don't want to take anything away from Ironworks. I think that he's a good player and he has a good version of No Banlist Jund, and he's got some good tools. But one of the decks that I was looking to prey on with my deck was something like what Ironworks is playing. I'm just gonna try to, again, like in the last match, keep some functional hands and just like top deck like a madman. Like what you always hate to see. Like I imagine playing against this deck with like good old Rock or Jund or whatever in regular Modern. Every card in this deck just about is just an utter disaster, and like you never want to see these cards, and I've got just such a high density of them.
No, that is true. So, good luck in the rest of the tournament. Hopefully, Jund can pull something out here.
Hopefully,
But
Ironworks
we'll
can
have to
get there.
see.
I have faith in him.